Hi, welcome to Finding the Word. It's Melanie Brown. I'm back with O, and we are looking at the word partner today. And so we're talking about last year. And so every year when we do come here, because we have the timeshare, they like to have that meeting. And they want to talk about different, supposed to be updates, like update meeting for owners. But really, they're trying to get you to buy more points. In our case, we paid off the timeshare years ago. So what they try to do, because we own it, is get us to come in with like the new company that owns. So we're about 3 owners back from 20 years ago, and we've just stayed put. But every year it would be an ordeal. And there were years when they would get forceful and it could get ugly. And O does not like that feeling of going to these meetings and dealing with it. And what particularly do you hate about it?
I don't like pressure. I don't like for you to pressure me into doing something. Even if I tell you I might want to do it, I don't want you to pressure me and make me feel like if I don't do it, then the world's going to come to an end.
And so now, I never felt pressure. I didn't feel anything because I worked in not really sales, but just information and persuasion. So in that, I mean, in a sense, you could say sales, but not really, because in my benefits counseling, you are talking to people about things that this particular employer may want them or your company may want them to get, but you really are explaining it. But I understand how it is when someone wants you to do something, so I don't feel pressure about it. Well, they offer you things to come. And so to come to listen, you would get like $100 and you get to stay an extra night without using your points. To me, it was well worth about an hour of your time, maybe an hour and a half, but it was worth it. And then you just get on with your vacation. So last year, when they offered the same stuff, hey, do you want the, $100? Do you want to stay an extra night? Yeah. But O had in the background was going, no. And he's over there like, and I was like, what? I'm thinking he's got to be joking. He's like, no. So, but anyways, after I had scheduled the time frame, he was like, what? Yeah. Mel, I didn't want to go. But I was like, you really, really didn't want to go? So now I was like, I'm willing to call them back, because this was not about trying to disrespect your feelings. It was about trying to maximize our trip. So my motives were in a different place, but I wasn't really listening to how he was really feeling about it, or there wasn't any alternatives that had been presented. So when it came down to it, and he's like, well, I feel like I understand what you're saying, that you don't want to miss out on the $100 and the dinner's worth it to you. And I'm saying, well, I don't want you to be feeling that you're angry going to the meeting and we're supposed to be celebrating our anniversary. So during the conversation, we realized that, okay, you don't want to deal with them and you don't like the pressure and you don't want to have to deal with their questions and their presentations and how they go back and come back. And I don't care, and I can absolutely tell them the way I feel about it, and I expect them to do what it is I tell them to do. I can handle this. So at first it was an issue to you still. It seemed like you didn't want me to handle it.
Well, the times prior, the last year, we were in a situation where the people kept bringing other people back to the table. And it was like, okay, well, what is this guy doing? Well, he's coming to close. Well, the closer had a closer.
Yeah.
And then the other closer had a closer
strung out
too.
for hours.
So we're here 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be an hour presentation.
Yeah.
So.
And you would get to the point where he had to then become angry, and
yeah.
It seemed like no one was listening until he was being forceful, and it just would turn. Why don't we do this? Because we both really wanted the same thing. We want to enjoy our trip. You don't mind getting the extras. And I don't see anything wrong with listening to what they have to say. But then I need to be the one to handle explaining how we feel about it, making sure we're in and out. So we made a deal. Our deal was, I will handle it, I will communicate it, they will do what they are asked, and we will be out of there within our hour's time. If not, we will never return to another meeting again. And he felt great about that. He was like, this is good. I'm fine with that. Right? Right.
I was going to give it a chance.
He gave it a chance. He's like, let's do it. As partners, it was a partnership approach to dealing with it. Because a lot of times when you have a partner, this is where it overlaps with differences. Because the differences in our personality make it to where I'm not bothered. I don't feel any pressure about what they're saying, and I'm fine with it. And he does not want to talk with them and go through all of this. In a partnership, there are strengths, there are weaknesses, there are preferences. And so it becomes whatever you're good at, you are able to utilize that, and it benefits us both. So it was like, okay, well then I'll go in and set and let them know how this is going to go down. And then you can chill and we'll be out of here in an hour. And that's exactly what happened. And I made sure it was extremely clear. If I need to set my phone to an hour, let me know. And they're like, no need. And we were out of there in an hour with our gift card. And we were at lunch laughing and talking. And it was like, from this point forward, I will chill, say something if I feel like it, but you can deal with these. And we will both benefit from the update. So the word partner took me to 1 Peter chapter 3, and it is verse 7. In the same way, you husbands must give honor to your wives. Treat your wife with understanding as you live together. She may be weaker than you are, but she is your equal partner in God's gift of new life. Treat her as you should, so your prayers will not be hindered. And so this is just a really fantastic verse, don't you think? Don't you think? Yes, because, we don't want to
Why would that be?
You would absolutely not want your prayers. Now, it does say I am weaker.
Never think that a woman is not your equal intellectually or any other way other than physical. Now, there's probably some women out there that are stronger than their husbands.
They can definitely take you.
But the point being is, it's not a physical strength that you're looking for in a partner. You're looking for something to complement where you are and how she can make the situation better. And that's what it is. We're basically, I'll say this, she is the face and I am the behind the scenes. So if something is presented to us, she's the first one that is presented to. Then I am the one to come up behind, and if it's something that I don't think is good, then I'll say, hey, let's not fool with that. But if it seems reasonable, then it's like, okay, we can try. So for me, I've always felt like I was on the defensive whenever we came to these meetings, because it was years and years of the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
You get to a certain point where like, okay, that's it, I'm done. So she made the pact. And, in a partnership, it's either you're going to go with the flow or you're going to sit up here and be the bad guy and just like, no. So you can't be like that. So, and, this instance, it did work out that way.
We went back this year. We really didn't even have to have the conversation of should we go, should we not go. It was okay, we're scheduling, we're going to go and enjoy, we're going to stay an extra night and have the benefits, and we'll listen and we'll move on and work it as a partnership. Same in any other business partnership as well. If you are, working on a business together and you pick a partner for you in that business, most of the time it's going to be someone who has different strengths than you do. Or in a partnership, it may be one that is the face of the company or who deals with the people, but maybe isn't as good with running the numbers or dealing with the logistics of the business. And then someone else, they get a partner who's really strong with working the financial end, but really does not deal with the people well. And then you come together and it helps to benefit everyone involved. And there's some compromise mixed with it but just with respect. And so where we had initially gone wrong really was just that it was like, I have my sights set on, well, we're going to benefit, but it wasn't really, it's taking the time to really listen to what is uncomfortable to you and what was upsetting to you about it so that it can be fixed. I think it's a good idea to present solutions. If you do have an issue in something, to just say, we're not doing it. isn't always the answer. Some things you cannot do, especially if there are any morals and things involved. But other things, because you're uncomfortable, we should always say, is there a way to work this out where both of us can benefit and we don't lose out, but we are able to gain through what the strengths are between one another. We're going to go get some sun and enjoy the day. Don't forget to find the word, and we will see you again tomorrow.